In this lesson, I'll talk to you about the character and their different roles in the narrative we are writing. The character has its complexities, and sometimes one makes mistakes and assumes that only one character is performing a recognition path in an altered territory, going from one point to another. Often we assume that the character merely experiences these changes without truly understanding or reacting to them. Crosses a transformed landscape to evolve and will sustain that evolution significantly and lastingly, a key element of the narrative. We also believe the character is deeply intertwined with the plot, reflecting the complexities of the journey. Returns to the three-act setup and at some point falls into maximum disturbance territories. This is true, but there is a foundational error here. The character we see at the beginning, a boy with a viewpoint named Eduardo, is really not alone. The character shares more than just a viewpoint. The narrative includes other ends, each following their own developmental journeys, adding layers to the story. But if one expands the character, it reveals hidden layers. It can have hidden characters and hidden plots. The character holds many facets, and if a scriptwriter fails to understand this, they encounter numerous issues. They get into many problems. The characters, they typically adopt various roles where each role transforms them into an entirely distinct character within the narrative context. For instance, Eduardo might portray a negligent son, then switch to embodying a devoted husband, or simply become the friendly neighborhood neighbor. Eduardo, in our narrative, could either be a secretive spy or a passionate lover. We'll examine both possibilities closely. In terms of being a bad son, consider this. When Eduardo's father lies ill in the hospital, Eduardo neglects to visit him or offer any support, has poor communication with him. And that role of our character Eduardo/bad son. This reputation will haunt him like a curse throughout the arc of our story. At the very least, we will ensure that his character development is compelling. Whenever we depict a character's role, like Eduardo Malijo, there are always moments where a value shift occurs along that journey. In Eduardo's role, these shifts are crucial for his character development, ensuring a compelling story. In our story, we'll include every scene where the husband takes up this particular role. Alongside those scenes, we'll track shifts in value throughout his journey. This approach applies equally to instances involving N1 or Eduardo, his neighbor. We'll capture all interactions between them, showcasing how each encounter influences their relationship. Each role's arc is crucial. A screenwriter must grasp this. Every character creates its own arc, shaping their journey and development. And you must follow the arc to the end, with value changes in each of its paths. We also have Eduardo Spy, placed in a circle as he holds the main role in the film or script we're crafting. This is a spy movie, with Eduardo as the central character, and we focus on his main arc and the shifts in value it undergoes. His role is pivotal, and the narrative revolves around his journey, highlighting the changes in value throughout the storyline. For instance, a lover might be a chess player or a radio operator, whatever the role. Radio operator, whatever, the intuition regarding drama. The viewer, every time they encounter the character in a specific role, feels assured of continuity in that role's development. This sense is heightened because it's highly uncommon to witness someone with such a dedicated hobby as butterfly collecting, where that event is isolated and lost. Typically, those paths are small arcs to the end. They follow small arcs to their conclusion. Once we define the characters' roles, we truly have the foundation for our narrative. We genuinely have the foundation to craft our narrative and build our story. I believe the key tools for constructing in a truly healthy manner involve outlining characters and their potential roles, and creatively a story. And to avoid getting into trouble and tangles, is to define each character and all the roles they can derive, then extract their arcs. For instance, consider The Shining as an example of this process. Jack Torrance embodies multiple roles: writer, husband, caretaker, and father. Yet it's his new red-hued personality that captivates us most. This transformation is the focal point of interest in his character's development. But we have arcs for writer, husband, caretaker, and father. It's not a single character. There are 5 roles. In Kieślowski's Blue, Julie, the main character, loses her family in a tragic car crash, altering her life's path. Is devastated, and we observe 4 roles in the film: Julie as a mother, wife, woman, and composer. Each role has its own arc, with the central arc focusing on Julie's attempt to resolve her issue with a lover who is also a composer. Her issue with a lover who is also a composer. In The Favorite, she is the central figure with 4 distinct roles. She serves as a servant and lady-in-waiting, becomes the queen's lover, takes on the role of a wife, and acts as a confidant and advisor, with this last role being her primary one. Thelma from Thelma and Louise is a wife, friend, robber, lover, and revenger. Her journey encompasses these roles, culminating in her quest for revenge. Marina Vidal from A Fantastic Woman is a singer and waitress, fiancée and friend, the viewer, and is under suspicion. These last two roles are the most significant. In Get Out, Chris Washington is a boyfriend, photographer, and patient, central to this chilling narrative. Each of them then stopped being a character and cloned themselves. The cloning of characters' roles, it's a task that must be initiated from the start and completed thoroughly.